Sometimes a wrestling company tries stuff and it becomes a WrestleMania or an All In. But sometimes they also try other things that become like a Control Your Narrative, or what we're talking about today, the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view from June 20th, 2010. A pay-per-view that is centered around that exact thing, the Fatal 4 match stipulation. While I don't think that stipulation is strong enough to warrant a whole pay-per-view about it, so tonight I'm going to watch and review it. Is it a hidden gem in a not-so-good era of WWE, or is it just as bad as everyone else kind of remembers it being? Before we dive into this though, I know it's only like 30 seconds into this, maybe like 2 minutes, but I would like to ask you to like and subscribe if you like wrestling content and stuff like this, because I do plan on making a lot more videos like this in the future. But without any more delay, let's just get right on into this show. The show opens with, of all people, Vince McMahon talking about how Bret Hart will not be here tonight because the Nexus kicked his goddamn ass. Now when they said that he got now right, they beat up an old man Bret Hart, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever you got to do. Then they show the replay of it, and I'm like, wow, you didn't need to do that to him. Like, that was severely unnecessary. Of any means, any way, shape, and form was that necessary to do to him. They just keep backing that car up over and over and over and over again. It's like, he's like 60 or something like at this time. Like, that's not necessary. We go directly from that though, straight into the Chosen One, Broken Dreams, Drew McIntyre entrance, where they play snippets from a past SmackDown of the Teddy Long embarrassment rituals that he's been doing. Drew had made him lay down for him so he could pin him. He puts his foot on his chest, and 3, he's going to hit Teddy with the future shock, and then Kofi Kingston comes out to make the save, gets kind of stuffed. Then Matt Hardy comes in, tries to make the save, he gets a future shock, and so does Kofi in the end. Drew stands tall. Cut back, and Drew is in the ring with a mic saying that he would like Teddy Long to come out and watch him win the Intercontinental title once again. While Teddy Long is on his way down to the ring to sit in a chair and watch this match, Drew is just berating him. Like, just laying into the poor guy. And it's these two things back to back of each other, the Bret Hart and the Teddy Long stuff, is just a lot in the first like 10 minutes of this show. Kofi Kingston comes out, and honestly, this opener is super solid. I love this era of Kofi. I love this era of Drew. I love how aggressive everything looks from Drew, and as someone who adores all of his body of work that he has in his career, every version of him, I just forgot how good he was even back in 2010. Like, honestly, super solid match to start the show. Every few minutes they keep cutting back to Teddy Long sitting in the chair and his sad little face every single time, and it's never not funny, and it's never not jarring to just go from action to Teddy, action Teddy. It's like, it's great. Fast forward to the finish, that Kofi's going for something. I'll put a picture of it on the screen. It wasn't really, I don't really know what to call it. Drew pushes his legs off into the ref bumps, Drew hits the future shock, goes for the cover, and it's no one there to make the pin. Of course, he then goes outside the ring and yells at Teddy that he has to make the pinfall, and he rips the shirt off of Charles Robinson, hands it to Teddy. Teddy puts it on. 1, 2, Teddy stops and shakes his head, says he can't, not this way, playa, and Drew just starts screaming at him again. Just is bullying this man. The next time I go for a pinfall, you're gonna count it. And Teddy's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He goes for the future shock one more time, but Matt Hardy comes out of nowhere and hits him with the twist of fate. Kofi gets up, trouble in paradise. 1, 2, 3. Kofi retains the Intercontinental belt in a super solid opening match. If this show continues on this path, we got a hidden gem here. Out of 10, I got to give this match like a 6. Nothing super crazy, but I enjoyed watching it. It was fun. After a short backstage segment with the Hart Dynasty, we go right into the first of the Fatal 4-Way matches on the show, and it's for the Divas title.
Well, here's the former Divas champion would love to win her title back here tonight.
I mean, what a banger of a theme song. But not exactly the best era of women's wrestling. Hey, who knows? Maybe Gail Kim will come out here. Everything will be rectified. There actually will be some real talent. I swear to God, I did not look up this match card. I swear to God, I did not look up this match card at all. Or pre-watch this or anything. That's crazy. But probably the most interesting part about this match was that little clip, because we got Maurice, Gail Kim, Alicia Fox, and Eve Torres battling for the Divas title. I get that you work with what you're given time-wise in wrestling, but that doesn't make this match good, even in that mindset, because everyone just looks lost. And then there's Gail Kim, who is Gail Kim, but it's just like very Diva 2010s wrestling. Maurice is just screaming like someone is sawing her arm off in a horror movie when she's put in an armbar, and the match just sort of ends when Eve hits a moonsault and Alicia Fox throws her out of the ring, pins Maurice, and wins the Divas title. That's kind of it. Those were the moments of interest. So, wasn't exactly the worst match I've ever watched though, so I'll say like, what, 2 out of 10? Barely 2, but I'll give it a 2. The third match is a rematch between Evan Bourne and Chris Jericho, because on a episode of SmackDown, Jericho was going one-on-one with Evan Bourne. Jericho hits him with the code breaker. He kicks out. Jericho loses his goddamn mind and gets himself DQ'd, so Evan Bourne wins. Tonight, he comes out, cuts a promo, and says, hey, I want to go again. This match is by far, by a mile, the best one of the entire night. You have a good match from Chris Jericho, which is so nice to see in the big year of 2025. Love seeing why people love, being reminded why people actually love him and why he was beloved by the wrestling community for so long. This match from start to finish is super, super solid, and I love it. You have one point, Evan goes for a diving Meteora, and it gets like rolled into a counter into the walls of Jericho, which was sick as hell. Evan eventually fights out of it, and Chris, goes crazy. A little later, Evan goes like the long way around, goes like the super fucking long way around to get to the top rope, goes for the shooting star press, lands on his feet, turns around, gets to the code breaker, gets his foot on the ropes at 2. The finish is Bourne goes up for the shooting star press again, and Jericho comes up, meets him there, gets pushed off. He goes for it, starts setting up for it again. Jericho crotches him, goes back up again, gets pushed off again. Finally, the third time, Bourne hits it perfectly onto Chris Jericho's back, covers him 1, 2, 3. Evan Bourne has beaten Chris Jericho once again. Honestly, crazy little match here. Crazy to think that Evan Bourne beat Chris Jericho clean, but here we are. 7 out of 10. Probably it is the best match of the night. I'll spoil it. It is. Just is. We have our first of the world title matches now. It's, of course, a fatal 4-way match where it's Punk, Big Show, Ray, and the world champion Jack Swagger. That's crazy. The overarching theme of this match is going to be that The Undertaker was found in a vegetative state, and Kane is going to get revenge on whoever did it tonight. And he knows who did it, and he's going to get their ass tonight. When it's really, really fucking obvious that it was Kane. There's really zero reason for you to search this match out. There's nothing insane that happens. It kind of is just like 25% Big Show domination. Stuff happening. Kane comes out with a casket, pulls Punk out of the ring, tries to shove him in there. Then the GOAT Luke Gallows comes in, hits Kane, gets Punk out. They run away. So Punk's out of the match. Big Show at this point has been long gone out of this match. So it's just Ray and Swagger. He goes for the 619 West Coast Pop. 1, 2, 3. Ray is your new World Heavyweight Champion. Wow, this match was so fucking mid. It was so goddamn mid. From this little chunk of watching this sort of storyline and how they're building stuff at this time, it seemed like this match really only existed to push the Kane storyline. This match is like a 5 out of 10. Super just average, basic. But Dom is in the crowd, and that's cool because at least Ray's spending some time with his son. Before the next match, we get a Cena backstage segment where he says that, you know, whoever takes the title off him tonight has to earn it, and that if the Nexus does make an appearance, that they have a sort of unspoken bond that they're going to stop the Nexus rather than be in the match. Match 5 is for the United States title, and it's going to be R-Truth versus The Miz. He cuts a promo at the beginning of it, and he cuts a promo on the stage and then starts rapping down his way to the ring, and it's to the beat of R-Truth's theme song, right? And when I watched this, I was so just dumbfounded of what was happening at this point that I just had no commentary for it. So
The Miz.
In a few moments, R-Truth is going to walk out here and start doing his rapping of "What's up? What's up? What's up?" And you all are going to be jumping up and down out of your seats. But I have decided to make that rap a little bit more suitable. I wrote some new lyrics. Hit the music.
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up? Here we go. The Miz. The Miz. The Miz. The Miz. You come out here dancing all around. Did you hear the last week when I pinned you to the ground? The Miz. The Miz. The Miz. The Miz.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Don't leave your seats.
That was ass.
they say on commentary at one point that they think he forgot his lines, and I think he genuinely did, because this man just puts the mic up to his mouth and then just stares out into space for like 5 seconds. It's bizarre. R-Truth makes his entrance the right way, and we get a solid contender for worst match of the night. Wow, this was bad. Not only did the match not need to exist, it just existed. Like, it didn't need to happen on this show, and it also just isn't a good match. So a lot of it is just your generic, like what you would think of when you think of a Miz match, and then R-Truth starts going for roll-ups over and over again, and Miz counters one, rolls Truth up, 3, Miz retains. That's it. After that's done, we get the "Don't try this at home" advertisement, that classic one where Ray says, "I've had surgery in my left knee 5 times." That's neat.
I've had surgery 5 times in my left knee.
That was my favorite part of this show. Hearing that again. Straight from that into a 6-person mixed tag match between the Hart Dynasty of Tyson Kidd, Natalya, and David Hart Smith versus the Usos and Tamina. And I'm not talking about like Yeet and no Yeet Jey Uso. I'm not talking like Uso penitentiary Usos. I'm not even talking about when they did that like actually kind of cool, like sort of, what's the word I would call it without being like insensitive, like the one where they did the whole ritual at the top of the ramp. Not even that. We get the original, like freshly signed Usos, auraless, if you might. I didn't care much for this match. Let me just put it that way. I didn't really care much.
I suck at that game, man. Like I'm bad. I'm really bad at Bellatra. Like I'm not the kind of person that will, like, I'm not gonna lie, like when it comes to how bad I am at some video games. Like, I could sit here and I could tell you, oh yeah, I get to exponents all the time, and like I get to like so high of ante. Dude, I struggle to just beat the game sometimes. Like, I am so bad at Bellatra, but it's so addicting and so much fun. So like, I'm gonna keep playing it.
But I did see the end, and the end was Natalya hitting her discus clothesline onto Tamina, covering her 3, and the Hearts win. 3 out of 10 match. It was better than the US title match, at least. It didn't need to exist just like that match, but it was a tad bit better. At least it was somewhat something. Something happened. Finally, though, we are on to the main event of the night, where we have Edge, Orton, Sheamus, and the champion John Cena in a Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Championship. This match wasn't bad. It just missed, like I described it in my script as, it missed that extra gear. It needed something to add more temperature to the match, and it just kind of lingered for a while. But the ending, I fucked with the ending. I did like that a lot. It was a little bit of a shifty way to end it, but it was cool, and I kind of liked it. So what happened? So the ending is Orton gets speared into the barricade by Edge. Then we cut to a backstage image of the Hearts, R-Truth, and Evan Bourne watching this match, and the Nexus attacks them, destroys that set, comes out to the ring, kicks Cena's ass. Edge tries to make the save, pulls the couple out. They kick Edge's ass, but meanwhile all that's happening, Sheamus sneaks in, pins Cena, and becomes the new champion. It's very sudden, like it happens like that. Like you don't even see the full pin. I don't think you see any of the pin when Sheamus does it, but they try to chase down Sheamus. He runs through the crowd, like up and around. He's now up, and then the show fades to black with him up on the stage holding the belt up, and then they chase after Sheamus, fade to black, end of show. So as it's fading to black, the crowd is chanting Daniel Bryan, which I would imagine, if I should have done my research on this part, but I'm going to do it after the fact now, that Daniel Bryan got fired for the tie incident not too long before this, but the crowd the entire night when they were bored chanted for Daniel Bryan. Not a great indication on how the show went. So that's cool. I think they did it during Maurice, during the Divas title, the 6-person tag, and one other match. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was just during the intro. So, or when Vince was talking. But yeah, my final thoughts on WWE Fatal 4-Way is this: that the show is incredibly mid. I don't know if the intention for Fatal 4-Way was for it to just be a one-time event, once, done, move on, or for it to be a reoccurring pay-per-view, but it didn't really work in any aspect. You know, 2 of the matches didn't feel like they even belonged on the show. Then you have the 2 good matches, which was the IC and the impromptu Evan Bourne match, that were both the best of the night, where those were both singles. Then you have the 3 Fatal 4-Way matches, and the World Heavyweight one didn't feel like it mattered. It felt like it was more for Kane, who wasn't even in the match. The Divas one, which was a complete mess, and the main was just kind of there. So the only matches that worked on the whole show weren't even the Fatal 4-Way ones. So if I were to average my score out for WWE Fatal 4-Way, it would be a 4.3 out of 10. I think if they were to have just cut the fat and tried to add more muscle onto the show, it would have been a lot better. The show could have actually had some well-built, really solid Fatal 4-Way matches, because they can be great. They just weren't on this very night. But that's going to be it for today. I would like to thank anybody who's made it to this part of the video at all. Please, I greatly appreciate you making it this far. But if you'd be so kind, please like, please subscribe, please comment if you have anything to say, any recommendations, anything to add about the show that I might have missed. I know it's very surface level about the show itself, but I didn't want this to be too long, because I'd like to get in a rhythm with these. So for now, I've been Dom. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, appreciate anyone who's watched this, but I will see you later. Bye.